West Egg vs. East Egg by Erik, Josson, and Kushal, Sanjeev. What is East and West Egg? These two locations are of course not actual eggs and are very important in understanding the novel. These eggs are actually two areas that lay the groundwork for the story. East Egg is known as a place where all the wealthy people live. These people are described as users of money that was inherited by their parents. West Egg is seen as the up-and-coming area.
It's shown as East Egg is seen as a place where all the users of old money live, and West Egg is a place where all the hard workers and people who exist in the growing upper class.
I lived at West Egg, the less fashionable of the two, though this is a most superficial tag to express the bizarre and not a little sinister contrast between them. This shows the difference between the two, as West Egg is seen as a less high-class area compared to East Egg. Who lives in West Egg? Why, it's none other than the man who's the title of the book, the man, the myth, the legend, Gatsby! Gatsby is a great example of West Egg because although he is a rich man, he is a man who gained his money from working hard and not from an inheritance. Gatsby also accurately describes West Egg because he's a rich man who throws lots of parties, and at these parties, a lot of alcohol is being consumed. And at the time, the consumption of alcohol was something that was considered illegal, and illegal things are more commonly found amongst the lower class than the higher class. And in this case, the lower class is represented by West Egg and the higher class by East Egg.
So who lives in East Egg? Why, it's none other than the sly man himself, Tom Buchanan. Tom is extremely important due to the way he portrays the elite class. Tom's elite status begins with the fact that he's a man who lives in East Egg, and he also obtained most of his fortune from his parents. Tom also accurately describes East Egg in his actions. Tom is the most accurate description of the upper class man's actions, mainly looking at the way he treats other people. Tom is a man who is having an affair with another woman who is not his wife, and is a person who has done this many, many times before.
The fact that he had one was insisted upon wherever he was known. Though I was curious to see her, I had no desire to meet her, but I did. The upper class man's life is directly described in this quote as Tom is an upper class man who has done something morally wrong, but still has no problem with it. What are the pros of West Egg? One of the biggest pros of West Egg was its lifestyle. In West Egg, normal people could go to parties and drink lots of liquor and eat lots of food. Though this was not the life for everyone, this was the standard life among many of the West Egg civilians.
So what are some of the pros of living in East Egg? Although East Egg was seen as a pretentious place to live compared to West Egg, it was often still seen as a very respectable place. People in East Egg acquired their wealth through inheritance, so money was usually not an issue. The houses there were also very much admired by everyone, regardless of where you lived. Across the Courtesy Bay, the white palaces of fashionable East Egg glittered along the water, and the history of the summer really begins on the evening I drove over there to have dinner with the Tom Buchanans. This quote is perfect to see how characters felt about living in East Egg, and how they respected it.
What are the cons of West Egg? The cons of West Egg depend on what side you're on. For someone living in East Egg, the main con would be that the West comprises of new money. New money was not as respected as old money was. Even members of the West Egg community knew this. That is one of the main reasons why Gatsby tried to make his home look as old as possible, so he could try to fit in with the East Egg community.
I didn't hear it. I imagined it. A lot of these newly rich people are just big bootleggers, you know? This quote is key in understanding how most people from East Egg thought of new money in West Egg. They believed that most of the new money derived from illegal means, while old money was created through hard work. So what are the cons of East Egg? East Egg has its fair share of faults as well. The main problem with East Egg is the people that live within it. East Egg is extremely rich, and hence extremely selfish and greedy. This greed is most noticeably displayed through the character of Tom Buchanan. Tom grew up within a wealthy family and married Daisy, another member of the high socioeconomic class. These two, both from old wealth, fit right into the East Egg community. They have little regard for people other than themselves, as seen how they act after Gatsby is killed.
Although both West and East Egg truly have their ups and downs, West Egg truly prevails to be the better of the two cities. This is shown throughout the novel as West Egg is seen as the updated place and full of working class citizens compared to East Egg, which is just made up of the elite. Thanks for watching!